Hey, here we go. I remember to press all the right buttons this week, so we're live. Imagine that. So far, right, we're about 30, we're 14 seconds into the show and we've had no technical issues. So I think that might be a record. We've only done this 9 or 10 weeks now.
Right, that's it. End it now.
I think that's it. I think they're like, you know, what else could possibly go wrong? So yeah, Baz, how are you, mate?
Very well. I just been busy with work, but I'm here now, and this is my happy place in the little podcast room.
It is, isn't it? I really enjoy our Wednesday nights. Thursdays are a bit of a write-off, but
yeah, I'm not looking forward to
that's
tomorrow.
All right. Well,
how are you? You right?
My son's off school tomorrow, so I'm parenting tomorrow. But I've already warned him that parenting will be largely, well, I thought it was going to be largely me and him playing FIFA in my bed for the whole of the day. But then I remembered that the reason he's not at school is because all our area is going to have no electricity.
Oh.
So it's going to rain tomorrow, and I've got to look after an 11-year-old who has already said to me, what do I do without electricity? And I don't have an answer.
Have you got a stick of one of those hula hoop things you can just run him up down the garden?
Mate, he says, "Oh, I might listen to music and read books."
Oh,
I was like, "Mate, it's going to be like 1950s here. I might film it all for YouTube as like one of those social experiments." Anyway, I digress. Right, I hope you've noticed that I've made a little bit of an effort tonight. Look, I've got my blue velvet jacket. You can't see that it's blue, but I've got my blue velvet jacket on, my cravat, and the reason for that is that we've probably got the poshest guest we've ever had on. So I thought I'd make. It's a bit like you have those things that like some companies do, dress for your day. And it's like, if you've got a meeting, you've got to wear a suit. Otherwise, you go, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking as middle class as I possibly can.
Well, it hasn't gone unnoticed.
Well, do you know what I mean? I've made a bit of an effort. And as for my hair, I've put the top half up and left the bottom half down, which I think is it's a style that is used by two very different ends of the spectrum. You've got Vikings at one end and 7-year-old girls at the other. So yep. I don't know where I fit in on that spectrum.
I was going to ask if it was your cushions behind, but I can see it's your hair now.
I know exactly. Yeah. Look, and I've got that thing that usually comes out of my head at some point. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to read. Look, usually we don't have when we bring a guest on, we don't have the benefit of an internet search actually bringing up some interesting things about the person.
Oh.
Well, I can see her ready to come on, and she looks a bit worried now, but there's no need to be worried. I'm going to read from this as I bring her to the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest, Clara Batten, 39, lives in East Sussex with her husband and 2 young children. Self-deprecating with an acerbic wit, she's every middle-class mother in lockdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Clara Batten. Not what I was reading from. Look at you.
I scrubbed well.
Look at you. And if anybody's wondering about that picture, I can give you the details. That Clara's jumpsuit is from Whistles. Her jewellery is from Missoma. Makeup by Danny Goonsberg at Carol Hayes using Marc Jacob Beauty. And Julie Reid at Carol Hayes using Trini London. And her hair was by Alex Sabo at Carol Hayes using Rita Hazan. Okay, so that's all the details there.
Can you give us a rundown of who's done all your stuff for tonight then?
Well, yes, I can tell you. The hair is greasy London.
Love it.
The makeup is basically the lowest of the low that I've ever bought, because my husband lost his job during lockdown, and we're trying to look after the pennies. But I do have a MAC not blusher, powder. That's the most expensive item I have in my makeup. And who did it for me? Ms. Clara Batten.
There you go. It's like model zone.
Yeah. I didn't get the nice little shoot there with hashtag You Magazine, what else? But no, that was incredible. Dan Kennedy, the photographer. I just literally all day I was like, oh, can you just take photos all day long? Literally.
That's amazing.
And then you know what? I put that on TikTok, the fact that I did this You Magazine thing. And then do you follow John Jolie? Like he's quite big. Yeah. And his whole family, and Anna, his wife, actually commented, this is how big they are. They obviously do all this stuff. And she went, oh my God, in your video, is that Dan Kennedy, the photographer? And I was like, well, I know his name is Dan. So I was like, Google Dan Kennedy. And I was like, I saw it done all these massive famous people. I was like, I should have taken that in more. Fuck's sake. It was very fun.
So how did that come about?
So basically, apparently, well, I got a phone. No, not a phone call, as if they have my mobile number. I got a DM on Instagram saying, hi, I'm writing to you from the desk of You Magazine. We're going to be doing a feature on TikTok comedians. Can we have a chat? So I was like, yeah, sure. Anyway, then they just said, we'd like to interview you, a photo shoot. And obviously I agreed. And then basically when I did the interview, the person interviewing me said, so basically the reason this is taking place is because the editor of the Mail on Sunday follows you along with his wife. And he really likes you, likes what you do. And he got in touch with You Magazine because they're part of Mail on Sunday and said, you know, we follow her, we'd like something done on, you know, where you can feature, you know, it'd be a really interesting article. And they said, oh yeah, we can do like, you know, female comedians on TikTok or something. And then they did like 6 female comedians on TikTok and did an article on the rising stars of, I mean, let's say comedians in the loosest possible sense of the word. I literally, every time someone says that to me, I'm still like, no, I'm not. They go, so when are you going on tour? I'm like, what going on what? No. Wow. What are you talking about?
That was tremendous.
I've got so many more questions, but we usually do a thing at this point where we come in. Mike's probably doing all the admin while we're here. So I'll ask a question this time.
Yeah, you go first.
So what we always ask at this stage, Claire, I'm about to call you Claire. Please punch me in the face. Clara.
Clara.
No,
call me Ra. Everyone calls me Ra.
Ra.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's an abbreviation of my name. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Ra. We always ask at this stage, what are you drinking? We're at a pub, so what are you drinking this evening?
My tipple always is a white rum and Diet Coke.
Ah, Bacardi, isn't it?
In a festival glass. It is. No, it's not Bacardi. I like Havana Club, 3-year-old Havana Club, but I never go with it because it's too expensive. And by too expensive, it's not actually. It's only like 22 quid a litre. But I go with Tesco's own white rum at 15 quid.
They are.
Firstly, it tastes like that sort of petrol rum that you get abroad, which is actually quite nice with a bit of lime, but I don't have any lime. And but yeah, my favorite is Havana Club, but I always feel like, oh no, that's that's 7 quid more. No, I just won't do it.
Yeah,
you'll learn about this about me. People go, "Oh, you're really posh." I'm like, no, I buy clothes from Sainsbury's, and I buy cheap booze. But you know what? Your cravat and velvet coat is probably more than my whole wardrobe.
Hey, there we go. I just thought, I'd make an effort.
Seriously, when I saw you just before we came on, I was literally about to ask. I thought I'll save it for the thing because I couldn't believe what you were wearing. I was like, that's freaking brilliant.
Right. And also,
the last time I had champagne.
Have you seen my? I now have a little fridge next to me, so I don't need to disappear to refill my drink anymore.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I've decided to go full on posh, and it's a bottle of champagne. It is Aldi champagne. But
you bastard, though. You're basically saying, "Oh, I'm going to go full on posh because of our guest," and I'm the one drinking Tesco's rum and coke, 15 quid a litre rum. And
I think we've probably met somewhere in the middle, Clara. We've probably met somewhere in the middle with me with my Aldi champagne. Boop.
No. Doesn't matter where you get champagne from. It's all bullshit. Champagne. Champagne is champagne. It's
well, most of the wines in Aldi tend to win awards and stuff, don't they? So. And Baz, what are you drinking?
Because I'm working tomorrow, and it's very unusual for me to be working at all. I'm taking a few Coronas in this evening. I do have a rum, obviously, for when these disappear. So
nice.
Yeah.
I do like Corona. In the sunshine, I like a Corona.
Well, I'm usually a rum drinker myself, so
I bet you a rum or a dark rum though.
Well, I've got my cheap version this evening, so it's just a bit of Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan's not cheap.
Well, it's. I have a collection. I have a collection.
For Captain Morgan.
I don't know what the Aldi version's called, but I suspect it's something like Lieutenant Moran. But yeah, that'll be the cheap version, Baz.
Yeah, well, I've drunk so much rum in the last couple of podcasts.
Cheers, guys. Nice to be on. You both got glasses as well, and I've got a festival plastic glass.
Go on.
Is that because you're not trusted with the glassware?
Absolutely, and I can't believe that you talk about me being posh, but I'm the least posh on this right this minute.
Oh, that's definitely not true.
Well, I make it a colony. I think you go value for money, so you can consume more of said alcohol, and and if you fall over, you're not going to hurt yourself. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Bang on. Right, I'm just going to quickly go through the.
Oh, Baz, I can see you properly now.
Oh, can I sit in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to
I was over here.
Through the comment section, say hello to people who are in our pub.
Three of you, but no, you can be in the middle now. It's gone, that thing.
So we've right. I'm going to say hello to people because these people are in the pub as well. So we've got Martin, Rosie, Rob, Liv, Jimmy, Jen, Jill, Adam, Spider Granny, loving your work, and Dolz Z96. Remind me on that one, Baz.
It's Meg.
Meg. Sorry, Meg.
she's quite new to the podcast.
You know what I mean? I'm not. How am I supposed to know who Dolz Z96 is? Do you know what I mean? And if that means you were born in 1996, I am going to have to ID you at the door because surely if you're born in 1996, you're only about 8. Do you know what I mean? That can't be right. I've just realised that she's that makes her a year older than my eldest daughter, so she'll be 24, possibly 25.
I think she may well be.
24-year-old daughter.
23. My eldest daughter's 20. I've got 23, 13, and 11. My kids.
Shit.
Do you want mine?
Yeah, go on.
She's
I don't
30.
want yours. I don't want any kids.
Nobody wants any more.
No thanks. But yeah, go on.
I have a 31-year-old and an 11-year-old grandson as well. So
an 11-year-old grandson and a 31-year-old fucking hell.
I come from
old though. When you look at him.
I started young as well, so it's fine.
I started relatively young.
You know when you said the name Meg just now.
Yep.
It sort of made me like go because I just got a little bit of good news before I came on here. Sorry, it's not going to be very good and interesting like watching because I can't say anything about it.
Is this basically your last video that you posted?
No, nothing to my last video, but I got a message to do with something I'm trying to do at the moment, and it was all positive, and the name Meg was mentioned, so it's fucking weird because I haven't heard the name Meg for bloody. Oh, I mean, my cousin's called Meggie. We don't call her Meg, but I haven't heard the name Meg for years, and then within 20 minutes, I've heard it twice, and one of it's like quite good news. So I was like, what the fuck? This is so weird. Anyway, that may just be me.
We've double megged. Right, for people who don't know, we've just gone straight into having a good old chinwag. But I think most of the people know who you are. Oh, Mickey's in as well. I think most of the people know who you are. But for those that don't know, Clara is. This is the point where I sound like a proper fanboy. I do it most times we have somebody on here. It was like, I followed Clara for a long time, since back in the day. Since back in the day of, exactly. None of us have been on TikTok long, so it wasn't that long ago. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I followed her for a long time. Like,
I followed her since her first album. But no, I've
first been on TikTok like 10 months ago.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
I've followed Clara for a long time, and her brand of relatable parent humor is kind of along the same lines as some of my stuff as well. So, I've been really enjoying your stuff. And if you haven't seen Clara, she is Rabatts, Rabatts, on TikTok. Or Rabatts, is that the...
Yeah, Rabatts, yeah, exactly.
Rabatts, sorry, Rabatts.
It derives from the fact that I know, I didn't think that my account was going to become at all anything more than a few hundred followers. So I just didn't think, I just don't, I'll do what my private Instagram is, which is Rabatts, which is basically everyone from the age of when I was born, because my brother couldn't say Clara, he was 2, and he used to say Rara. And so my mum then started, she actually called me Clara because she was like, oh, that will never be able to be abbreviated. And then my brother couldn't say Clara because he was 2, and he used to say Rara. And then my mum just like adopted that and said, and used to say, oh, Ra. And then it became that when I went to school, all my friends called me Ra, my brothers called me Ra, and then even some of my teachers called me Ra. And then it just became that was my name to all of my friends. And then my surname is Batten, and Adam used to be called Bats growing up, like by all his mates, Batten, Bats. And so I just said Rabatts on Instagram when I first set it up, and it was just a private account. And so when I set up TikTok, I went, oh, I'll do the same as Instagram, Rabatts. And now anyone who mentions it always goes, Rabatts? Robots. I'm like, no, sorry, it's Ra, like my abbreviation, my first name, my surname. Yeah, so you're right, it's Rabatts.
I love the way that you you've gone to some lengths to tell us that you're not posh, but the name you prefer to go by is Ra. I think actions are conspiring against you to this fallacy that you're not posh. So
the trouble is, though, when I lived in London for 20 years, every time I'd go out to the pub and people would be, I'd be introduced to someone, they'd say, so what's your name? And I go, Clara. And I go, oh, just call me Ra. And they go, okay, Ra. Like I was being a complete twat, basically, like just thinking I'm just posh, so I'm just going to call myself Ra. And I was like, so I always used to have to justify it, go, my name's Clara, or just call me Ra, as in Clara.
It's an abbreviation of my name. I'm not trying to be.
Because I think I'm posh. It's because it's Clara.
Well, you don't need to think you're posh because I do. So, and it's my show. And it's my show, so that's the rules.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, welcome to our pub, which is called the Brace of Reedlings. For those that don't know, I have to do this. For those that don't know, we named it the Brace of Reedlings on about week 6. And the reason is that the reedling is a bird. The more common name for a reedling is the bearded tit. So clearly, Brace of Reedlings, there you go. See? It's educational and sometimes mildly humorous. So yes, Clara, tell us then about, you started on TikTok in April last year?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us how talk us through your journey.
Well, I don't know if you want me to talk. As you know, I talk a lot, so stop me. But yeah,
that's what we're here for.
I started because of Adam, basically. Adam saw the blinding lights dance that was going on, all the NHS workers dun 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 dun. So he was like, I can't. God, I can't stop watching this. And he's not even social media orientated. He's just like, I can't stop watching this bloody dance. I actually downloaded TikTok to watch the other ones. And so I don't even know what TikTok is. It sounds like this like young shit app, you know. And then he went, anyway, look at these dances. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, they are fun. And then he went, I reckon you could do that dance. I went, it looks harder than it is. And I went, oh, go on then. So he filmed me on his TikTok doing this blinding lights dance. And then I looked at it, anyway, put it onto my own. I set up TikTok, put it onto my own TikTok, but private thing, so no one can see it. And then I was like, and then I just decided to do a few TikToks. I didn't know what it was all about. I knew there were sounds, but all I knew was there were sounds like music sounds. So I was just searching music sounds and then like lip syncing to music, which is how I think it started anyway with music.
Yeah.
And so I'd like just be like Mambo number 5 and you know like lip sync to it. And then the Jess Glynn one where it's like I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days. And because that's quite poignant, because hopefully one day we'll sit down together and laugh about these days. At the start of the pandemic, I did that, and I run a volunteer group in my village for, during COVID-19, basically. And so I sent that to them, just lip syncing it. I went, hopefully, guys, one day, blah, blah, blah. And then I actually started searching TikTok. And oh shit, you can do other stuff. It's not just like music. Like you can actually create comedy. You can lip sync like other stuff. That's like. So quickly I went, sod this. I used to, in the loosest possible sense of the word, be an actor. And so I was like, I love performing, love comedy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get on this bandwagon. And so I did a couple of videos and they did quite well, like a few thousand views, which at the start, when you're starting, I was like, what the fuck?
Yes. Who are these people?
Yeah, and seeing it happen immediately, like, you see the views and the likes immediately. I was like, God, what the fuck? This is weird. Because you always think like YouTube, and that takes a while. And before that, in March, at the end of March, I'd done this that took about 5 weeks to do on my YouTube channel, which I only set up to do this, was a lockdown parody music video of All About the Bass. Yeah. And so I put that onto YouTube after 5 weeks of filming it. Like I wrote it, recorded it in my little home studio upstairs, and then acted it out with my family, and then put it on YouTube. And now it's got like 9,000 views. I'm like, God, that's good. If I don't get that in a few hours, I'm like, oh, this video's not done too well. It's been there for a fucking year. And I just checked it the other day. I went, oh my God, it's got 9,000 views. I was like, oh God, I'm a bit embarrassed. It's like, now I'm like, on TikTok, I'm like, 9,000 views? That's not very good.
Fuck that.
But yeah, that's what I did originally during a lockdown thing. And then Adam was like, I said to Adam when I first started TikTok, so I've looked into it. I've done a few videos and you should probably try and do 2 videos a day. And he was like, are you fucking out of your mind? He was like, I'm full-time working. You've got 2 kids in lockdown and you're wanting to do 2 fucking little videos on this weird app twice a day, lip syncing, learning, like doing all this stuff. No, like this isn't going to happen. And then as I sort of got a little bit bigger, 1,000 followers, he bought me this light ring that I'm using now, smaller light ring. No, he didn't. He bought me a tripod. He said that now I don't have to use I don't have to hold it. You can just use it. Do whatever you want. Do it. I'm not holding the camera anymore. And then I got a bit bigger and he was like, right, I'm buying you a light ring. And they bought me this one. and then last year, I've got this fuck off massive light ring, which I hardly ever use because it's like a bloody being on a film set, like lights up the whole room. Like, you don't use that one though. Like, no, because I can't actually carry it anywhere. It's so big. But yeah, he's as time's gone on, he's like, well, I did start you off on this journey, you know. And a couple of weeks in, he's like, "You fucking kidding me? There's no way you're doing. Oh, that's ridiculous." And now he's like, "Well, you're welcome. You're welcome."
And he's been your agent ever since, I take it.
Yeah, yeah. He was.
Just for those who don't know who Adam is Clara's technical support.
Yes.
He's the IT department who, before we went live, was sorting out Ra's massive issues with technology. Just before we carry on,
by technology we mean holding the camera in place.
Exactly, and we know that's not Adam's role anymore. So it was in his interests to get that sorted out. I just want to go to the comment section briefly. We'll carry on clearly, but I just want to go to the comment section because there's some genius going on in the comment section right now. So somebody said, let me try and find it. Somebody commented, and it was BCASDF11ASDF.
I saw that.
Want to be famous by followers and viewers on bigfollows.com. Okay, and I just ignored it. But our comment section have just really done themselves proud because it starts off with Adam saying, "No, but I've got half a ton of logs that I need to get rid of." So he's offering half a ton of logs for followers. And then who else have we got? Jimmy has said, "How many followers can I get for Check's Pockets? 32p, a Tesco receipt, and a piece of heavily chewed gum." So this is what we and then Adam's come back and offered him the half a ton of logs for what he's got in his pocket. So I did have to highlight that because there's comedy genius in our chat, and I thank you all for it. Just while we're on that, you mentioned that you used to be an actor. I used to be kind of an actor. I want to know more about this. You can't just throw that into a conversation and not explain.
I'll do the other one.
Well, I did. So basically, my first job was when I was 10, and I was Jonathan Ross's daughter on his chat show. It was the Jonathan Ross show back then, but it wasn't like a 10 p.m. It was like he was on ITV and Terry Wogan was on BBC. You know, the big competition that sort of time. It was 1990 Christmas Eve special. And myself and my brothers were acting as his kids on this show, like introducing the guests, Kim Wilde, Jack D. And anyway, so we did that. So that was then had to stop that because I wasn't at stage school. I was at a school where the headmistress went, "You're taking a bit of time off for auditions, which is a bit, do you want to go to stage school or do you want to stay at your private school?" Stay here, please. Stay here. Thank you.
But you're not posh. You're definitely not posh.
Right? No. But I still buy clothes from
saying. You want to stay at your private school, but you're not that posh. Okay. Carry on.
And then basically, after that, everything, whatever, did school, did theatre studies A-level, did the Guildhall Drama School sort of intensive course, which is like evenings and weekends thing, duo and group acting. And then basically finished school, and I didn't want to go to university. I thought, fuck it, I want to be an actor. Like, why would I go to university and just study more if I can try and either get to drama school or I will call up my old agent who I had when I was 10. So I called them up because that will work. So I called them up and said, I used to be on your books when I was younger. And he said, well, my aunt, who was your agent, sadly passed away. I've taken over the agency. Come in and have a meeting. And I brought in all the theatre stuff I'd done. And they took me on. And so I moved to London at almost 18 and basically did join the agent and had bits and bobs. I had my media sales, hardcore sales job, which earned me a lot of money as my day job, and worked in a bar and, did all the stuff 18-year-olds would do. But at the same time, I was going to auditions. And I always got, I'd get an episode here, an episode there, where I did a corporate video. I remember doing a corporate video. I got the part for a corporate video for Oyster Card. and it was before it ever came out. And it was being like sold as the Oyster Card. And I was like, I was at Canary Wharf station doing this corporate video Oyster Card thing. And I was like tapping it going, surely this is so futuristic. There's no way this could even take off. Right? What are you talking about? There's no way. And I was tapping it going, is this actually happening? Like, how do the barriers open like this? This is crazy. And then did an episode of Holby City and then episode of EastEnders. And I was thinking, oh god, I'm getting some good stuff. Maybe this will anyway. As we all know, the acting industry is very competitive, and it was tough to get anything to keep me going, to give up my day job. And I was having a fucking laugh in London. I was loving it all, and I just didn't, and then I was working in a bar. I moved back home for a bit because I had to get some more money to move back up, and I moved back home for a bit to Tunbridge Wells. And I worked in a pub in Tunbridge Wells. And while I was working behind the bar in the evening, they had a big screen on. And I saw my agent on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And they went, theatrical agent Malcolm Knight is And I went, hang on, that's my fucking agent. Anyway, he won 32 grand. I mean, it's not enough to retire. But within a few months, he had retired, not told me. And I suddenly had an email from Spotlight saying, your agent no longer exists. We will be your temporary agent. And I was like, what the fuck? He only got 32 grand. Jesus, that's going for 8 years. No, but, so basically.
Tesco Bacardi, that will it?
Yeah, exactly. Enough Tesco own rum. And so I was sitting here going, right. So basically that happened. I couldn't be asked because I was doing well in London. I couldn't be asked to go look for another agent there and then. I was just like doing well at my actual job. And I'd found it quite difficult for 7 years to actually get to do stuff more than here and there. And at some stage, actors just go, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm doing well in my job. Let's just climb the ladder in that. And that's what I was doing. And so that's what I did. And then I had kids. I became an estate agent. Then I had kids. Have been a full-time mum because when lockdown started, they were 3 and 1. And weirdly, this has been the best platform because it's opened the biggest amount of doors where I may actually be going back into that industry, which is.
Oh, I think we might have got close to what Meg's talking about. You just keep drinking that Tesco knockoff Bacardi. You keep drinking that Tesco knockoff Bacardi. We'll get the story out here by the end of the show.
So I wanted to jump on something else. That happened in your opening question, your answer. Alongside you saying that you've done acting, you also sang a bit there. Now, I'm not an expert, but you sound like you can hold a tune a bit.
Well, I mean, most people on my lives would say I absolutely cannot. And but I would like to think, yes, I can. I love singing, and I have been told my voice is all right.
Yeah.
But I would. I love it. It's not like my passion or anything, but I do love it, and I think I can maybe hold a tune.
Oh, for sure. I only heard a bit, but it sounded good to me.
I don't think it's stereotypical raspy, but it's more of a raspy sort of ex-smoker type, still vaping. Let's go with sort of
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison. Morella Crosschop or whatever her name is.
I have seen on your recent videos you're doing a lot more dancing now as well. Yes. So you're a proper triple threat. You're an actor, you're a singer, and you're a. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't say threat. guys, don't worry about Bert. But you know what? I put on my TikTok the other day that I did I put on my TikTok the other day. I signed a contract for something.
I saw that, yeah.
And so many people have said since then, I better Strictly Come Dancing. And I went, well, it's very sweet of you that you could possibly think. And I went, oh no, actually, they're normally really shit dancers. So that's probably quite fair to say that that might be me.
You are actually.
Like, oh, thank you that you think that I might be on Strictly. I was like, oh no. I know. Like, what's her name? Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe. Is it this year's?
I shouldn't take too much praise in that.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this year's Anne Widdecombe. It's Clara Batten.
You know what? It's just because I fucking love dancing, and I remember when I first did. I first did a TikTok dance, and it was back in about June last year, and it was a well-known one to weren't you the one who tried to tell about the way you were, and so basically I just loved this dance. It was trending. I was just like, oh, I'm good, and I had to justify it in the comments. I put, I know I normally do comedy, but I had to do this. This mum had to give it a go. You know, it's like when you're still new. Like, mum had to give it a go. Now I'm like, fuck you all. I'm doing a dance.
I'll do what I want.
Yeah, I'll do what I want. I can't dance. I'm going to try and dance. I'm going to try and do this one. I'm going to duet this dance troupe. I'm going to get this guy from bloody Diversity, and I'm going to duet him. I just couldn't give a flying fuck now. But actually, I did do a TikTok video reply today to someone who commented on a dance that I did a couple of days ago, and he wrote, I'm unfollowing you for a bit because
you're getting boring.
It was a dance I did a couple of days ago. I duetted this dance, and he put, I'm unfollowing you for a bit because you've become rather annoying. And so I did a video reply to him today, just like I just got block. And basically, I was like, how dare someone say that I can't just fucking have a laugh and do my... basically, people see you as like, oh my God, she's so comedic, she's so brilliant. Why can't I just fucking have a laugh on my own page, do what the hell I like? Like, if a dance makes me happy, then like, great, just either unfollow or fuck off.
I just don't get it. I don't understand the whole announcing your departure. It's just that you know
it's not an airport, is it?
You're not working on the loudspeaker at Heathrow Airport. Don't fucking announce your departure. Just fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's crazy. It's like, and also, it's like I'm going to unfollow you for a bit. A bit.
That was brilliant. That's a bit of light.
Separation. That's what it is. It's a trial separation.
Fucking chance.
No.
It was almost like you saying, I'll be back in a few weeks when you started doing all the good stuff again.
Yeah. Can you start going back into lockdown comedy and stop doing charity stuff and dances?
I'll come back. I'll come back when you're less shit. I just realised, by the way. I mean, this is a bit niche, but anyone who's into Star Wars, every time I look at myself, I see Qui-Gon, which is Liam Neeson's character. I'm just going to have to go a bit geeky, and I'm not geeky enough. I'm not geeky enough to know what color his lightsaber is, so I've just Googled it because that above my head looks like a lightsaber. So I'm going to go with...
I think it is.
There you go. It's perfect.
No, I think it's the one before.
Hold on.
Definitely the blue one. The dark blue one.
No, it's green. That is actually green. That is actually green in my room, but there we go. Anyway, we've sorted that out. Anyway, I need to go back. I need to give everybody an update. Because just in case people aren't following I look like I've been out in the sun for about 4 years. I can never get the lighting right in my room.
No, that's your light ring.
No, I'm on a laptop, so I've got like lots of things like it's not good for lighting. I've got screens and stuff lighting. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the comment section because there's updates. Last we heard, it was half a ton of logs for 32p, a Tesco receipt, and a heavily chewed piece of gum. We've got an update. Jimmy's come back with a counter offer saying the gum's wrapped in the receipt if that affects the deal. So, and then Adam says, actually, what flavour? It's a possible deal breaker. And then, where are we now? And then Jimmy's come back with, don't think there's much flavour left at all. I did specify it was heavily chewed. So this is...
oh, I love them.
And then Adam's come back with, okay, only a quarter of a ton of logs because it's heavily chewed. So I just thought I'd keep everybody... updated with what's going on. So,
well, it's very important to keep the log situation not like that, the other way. Up to date. We do need to know about these. Actually, it reminds me of a conversation that I had with my best friend today. I was on a phone call with him, and he said, he was asking about the charity thing that I do in my village, and he said, so why do we? No, basically, he said, so why do we get cut off on the phone call? Was it me? Because my phone was ringing. I went, my phone was ringing at the same time as yours. I said, mine was from a gentleman in the village who's like in his mid-80s. Like he was asking for us to take him to a medical appointment tomorrow. And he said, oh, are you still doing that? I said, yeah. I mean, it's died down a lot. Obviously, like everyone's back out and about and they can do stuff. But I've kept it going as like a village volunteer group, regardless of COVID. So some people still need help doing stuff when they don't have family or friends around them. He went, oh, that's cool. And I said, for example, there's this guy who delivers our logs. And he went, what? And I went, there's this guy who delivers our logs. And given that this is like a guy who, went to private school, he went to Exeter University, he's very well educated, he's writing a book at the moment. He went, you've got someone who fucking delivers your logs. And I went, well, yeah, of course. And he goes, do you want to sound fucking more middle upper class? And I went, no. I said, no, that's ridiculous. Everyone gets their logs delivered. And he went, no, I'm sorry, that does not happen. You think that happens. That does not happen. I went, I'm sorry, but the only way I know this guy is because he delivers everyone's logs in the village. I went, you only think that because you live in Chiswick and fucking fires aren't allowed in London. And he was like, I'm sorry, I'm not believing it. There's no way logs get delivered to anyone. You go and get your fucking logs from the BP garage. I was like, no, that's ridiculous. He went, I'm sorry, I'm not believing this. So anyway, when you said about the logs, I had this big conversation. But anyway, the fact is, I get logs delivered, as does everyone else in the village, so you don't have to bloody bother again for the rest of the season.
Well, there you go.
I can't get a bloody ton of logs in the boot of my car, and it's a lot cheaper. Anyway,
well, I'm interested in Adam's logs anyway because we've got two open fires, and that's just because everyone in Ireland has an open fire, and they're
Ireland.
Yes, I live in Ireland.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I live in Donegal in the northwest of Ireland.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. But yeah, everyone's got a fire over here. And it's but yeah, I get mine from the petrol station, but not the crappy ones, the decent ones. Do you know what I mean? I got like it's literally the petrol stations. So where I live, the petrol stations are like literally named by the name of the guy who owns it. So I get mine from Sweeney's. There you go. So
you know what? I found a guy in my village. Actually, it's a next door neighbour, but one because I asked when we were self-isolating when Monty had COVID, I asked one of my friends in the village to get me a bag of kindling from the BP garage, and she came and she said, you realise that was like almost £8. And I went, yeah, no, it's annoying, isn't it? And she went, yeah, but why aren't you using James for kindling? And she was like, it's £5 for a bag like 5 times the size. And I went, what? So then I got in touch with this James guy, and he dropped off a bag which was huge, like a massive sack full of kindling for £5. And I said, and I called him up again when we'd run out in winter, and I said, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, it burned so well. And he went, well, we do provide all the petrol stations with this kindling. And I went, oh, for fuck's sake, I've been here 3 years for crying out loud, and I've been paying £8 a fucking shit bag for kindling. Anyway, kindling and log cat. This is really turning me on.
I have a question.
Go on.
So, whilst listening then, I noticed there's a very stylish hat behind you. Is that a proper tip for that?
I mean,
it looks like a pith helmet from where I'm
sat.
I mean, it wasn't placed there on purpose, I've got to say. But it is my daughter's. Again, look. To Sainsbury's. So when you say stylish, it is Sainsbury's, and it is one that Nana bought my daughter for her. I'm so not used to cameras being the right way. I'm like going off because I'm used to inverted cameras.
We're not. We've been doing this for 9 or 10 weeks, and we're still not used to it yet.
Go right.
You see it? Oh, fuck.
There it is.
But it's gorgeous. It's got sparkles, much to Cressy's delight. And it just goes like that.
It's perfect.
Nailed it. That's the look. I'm going to get in touch with Dan Kennedy. I think I want to know why Dan Kennedy didn't have you wearing that.
I haven't frozen.
Do you know what? That was so good. Honestly, that was really good. That was really, really good. I was like, oh, bollocks.
I'll just go over it. So Dan Kennedy, let's just carry on.
Absolutely got me there. Absolutely got me. Brilliant.
I was like, Mike, keep talking.
No, honestly. Right. At this point in the night, I'm aware that time's cracking on. I'm going to try something, bearing in mind that we always have some technology that goes wrong. I'm going to try something tonight that involves more technology. Now, last week we did a thing on Yahoo Answers, which was for those that don't know what Yahoo Answers is, it's a now defunct thing where you could put a question in and other users could answer your question. So you could say, how do I wire a plug?
Yes, great. And you get the top answers.
And there was some loads of really, really funny stuff. And we had a good laugh about them last week. So I'm going to go what we've got this week. Now, here's where all of technology could go wrong. So fingers crossed, everybody.
Sit back.
I'm going in. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen.
God, you are like the biggest technical person.
Oh, here we go. And I'm not gonna put it onto. Oh, I think I have to. Listen. Let's see what happens if I put it on a slideshow, because I think I have to make it work.
How do you do this?
Right, hold on. If I click slideshow, it's going to try. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Well,
okay, I can't see any of you. Okay, but I'm going to carry on with it anyway.
The one on the right's quite hard to see.
I'll go on full screen.
What? Which one can you see? This should be just a full screen.
Oh yeah, okay. I've got 2. You've got no. The one on the right.
We've got 2. It was better before when you just had the 1.
So I've got. Don't you hate?
I don't know. Hold on.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, right. Okay, so we're going to go with this. So these are suggestions. Like I did a search. It's really weird because I can't see anyone, but this is I did a search on when you type in stuff on a Google search, what the suggestions are.
Yeah.
And if you do that, there's loads of really funny ones, but I suspect most of them are made up. So these are ones that I genuinely found. Okay, so this is what I found on Google searches with the suggested remainder of the search, if you like. Okay, so if you type don't you hate, okay, the next thing that comes up is Don't you hate it when vegans what? I've blanked out what's next.
I've got it.
Don't you hate it when vegans what? Do you want to guess what that is?
Yeah, preach.
Good answer. It's not right. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is, and it's brilliant.
Oh, come on.
Don't you hate it when vegans don't flush? That is genuinely what comes up as the first suggestion when I typed "don't you hate" into a Google search. Okay. So the next one, if you type it, or it might be different for different people, but when I typed in, I think I might be.
Oh.
The options are pregnant, depressed, autistic, in love with you. So I don't know who's in love with Google. That's a little bit worrying. But the next one on the list was the one that tickled me, was that there are enough people searching this for it to come up as one of the recommended searches on Google. I think I might be dead. Which is tremendous. The next one, I'm going to go straight in with this one because I want to talk through all of them. If you type, is it wrong to sleep? Here are the 3 suggestions. Is it wrong to sleep with your sister? Is it wrong to sleep with your cousin? Is it wrong to sleep on the first date? I would suggest the bottom to top is the scale of less wrong to very wrong.
I mean, firstly, it's no to all of them. I mean, yes to all of them.
Whoa, Clara, what the hell just happened there?
Sorry. It's yes.
I told you she was posh.
Yes, exactly.
Apparently, the top 2 are okay when you're posh.
No to the first one, yes to the second one. No, I'm joking.
Should we marry your cousin, should we?
Well, you know what, Clara? If number 2 wasn't allowed, then the population of your village would just dwindle. So
that would be completely out.
We can't let that happen. Okay, so the next one is there's loads of ones come up that I'm going to talk through very quickly, but there's one that I've blanked out. So if you type in "why does my wife," it comes up with "why does my wife masturbate?" I'm not sure what that means.
And enough people have got it wrong that that's the first one to come up.
Exactly. Why does my wife not want me? It's like, what are they expecting Google to come up with? It's like
emoji.
I'm just like, are they expecting Google to say, "Do you know what? I know your wife, and I don't think."
I know. At least the "why does my wife lie to me" actually comes up with probably some.
Exactly. You might get some help with that one.
Like,
why does my wife want to date?
Twat.
Yeah. So why does my wife want to date? Why does my wife cheat? Why does my wife want a lover? So there's a lot of very unfortunate, distressed people. Why does my wife hate me so much? Why do I never want intimacy? But my favorite one of all these, bearing in mind the overriding kind of theme of all the ones that you can see, enough people have typed in, "why does my wife wear leggings all the time?" Do you know what I mean? I love it. So, next one.
Because we're in lockdown, you twat.
I would love it if Google replied with exactly those words, Clara.
I'd love it if
we're in lockdown, you twat.
Hang on a second. Can I ask Google that question? Just see what they say. Okay, Google. Why does my wife wear leggings all the time?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, Google. Why does my wife stop? Okay, Google. Why does my wife wear leggings all the time?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
No,
she's confused because she knows you don't have a wife.
Okay, Google. Why does my husband wear leggings all the time?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh.
Okay, Google. Why does my husband masturbate all the time?
Masturbate?
Apologies, I don't understand.
Well, you are
embarrassed her, Clara. I think you've embarrassed her. Okay, so the next one. If you type in "what do I do if," okay, this is what comes up. What do I do if I think I have coronavirus? Fair point. What do I do if I lose my passport? What if I do if my dog dies at home? It's something that I didn't think would come up, but is a fair point because I wouldn't know. What do I do if my mobile phone gets wet? What do I do if dogs eat chocolate? Lost my passport? All of these things. But my favorite on this is apparently the 5th most common search is, what do I do if a ginger kid bites me? I promise you, this is. I didn't download this. I didn't download this.
What?
I didn't download this. This is screenshots of what actually came up on my Google
I'm going to say, ask Ricky Gervais.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, because I mean, there are loads more weird and wonderful ones if you just Google what's come up on other people's. But these are genuinely ones that came up on my Google searches. These are all screenshots from when I did it.
Oh my God.
So the next one is
hilarious.
If you
we'll do something completely different if an other person bites you. What do they expect? Well, let me talk you through it. Normal people, the fuck? Like, what are they expecting? Well, non-ginger people will bite you in a certain way where you can behave like this. And
I think.
Disclaimer, I think Dad Dancer might be ginger, so it's okay.
Definitely not. My beard might be, but the hair on the head and the top row aren't, so that's what counts. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love it to come back and it say, you know, basically you've got to piss on yourself like if it's a jellyfish. I think that'd be brilliant, but I'm not sure that'll be the answer. Right, okay, so the next one is, if you type in "I like to D," it comes up with "I like to dance," I like to drink with song. Not sure.
I like to drink with song.
Yes, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the Rigobert Song who used to play for Arsenal. I think maybe that's what it is. There's just a lot of people like him. I like to dress my husband as a woman, which is that's cool if you. But the next one, the 4th most common thing when you type in "I like to D" is I like to dissect girls.
Wow. Okay.
So this is terrifying. That's the 4th most common.
Spell dissect.
I don't know. Is that right? I don't know. That was my main concern when I read it, to be honest.
This looks like dissect girls. Well, it just shows the people who like to dissect girls are probably young, and actually that's more worrying.
And uneducated idiots.
Okay.
The next one is "I hate it when." So I've blocked out a few here. I hate it when we argue. I hate it when jokes. I hate it when memes. I hate it when quotes. I hate it when llama named Carl. Nothing's finished on that one. This I think this might be a kind of a thing amongst the young people, because the rest of this is just completely bizarre. I hate it when a chinchilla eats the universe. Is the 3rd.
Well, we all hate that.
Well, I've not experienced it yet, but I would hate it.
Yeah, I would hate it
when Voldemort used my shampoo. I hate it when Voldemort hides in my turban. And the final one on this is, I hate it when Adolf Hitler steals my Nutella. So,
well,
that's literally the top one.
The worst thing in the world.
If you type in "I hate it when," or when I typed in "I hate it when," the top one was "I hate it when Adolf Hitler steals my Nutella." I honestly don't know. Right, this is the final one, okay? And I've kind of gone into a bit more detail on this one. So, cats like. If you type in "cats like," it goes, "Cats like Felix." Got that? That's an advert. Cats like plain crisps. Didn't know that. Cats like tigers. Don't know if they're saying cats like tigers or cats are like tigers. Cats like dogs. Cats like singing. Cats like heat. Lots of things like that. The top one, though, is cats like Hitler.
I'm sure they wouldn't if they met him.
So exactly, I don't know if that's saying cats like Hitler or cats are like Hitler until I did a bit more digging.
It's definitely cats are like Hitler.
I like Hitler.
It really is, because there is a website called catsthatlooklikehitler.com.
Oh no, I genuinely think it's more their personality. Cats are like Hitler. Have you seen the amount? I mean, I'm a massive animal lover. Massive animal love. All my animals, my pets have come from rescue homes. I give to the RSPCA every month. I love animals. Cats can fuck right off. I'm sorry.
You were going to say that. Honestly, that was apart from the rat. I just thought the next line of this is literally cats can fuck off.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. They're cunts.
I'm going to give you a virtual high five there.
Thank you.
But anyway, whilst we're on,
sorry, I can say that word this time because your daughter's not in the room, so that's okay.
Exactly.
And we're not on TikTok.
I'm not a fan of these twatty cats who go about killing birds, shitting in other people's houses, other gardens, and then just go, "Oh, you're going to feed me? I'll just fuck off in my own house for 4 days because someone else is feeding me. I don't give a shit about my owner, so let me just like go and put my owner through fucking hell while they stress about where I am because I'm getting fed next door. But what, you want me as a pet? You can sod off. I don't love you. Bugger off." That's basically what they're like. That's it.
Right, me and you are 100% in agreement on this. But listen, there's just two more things I need to show you.
So basically, sorry, the bottom line from that whole rendition of what I just said about cats is, it's not cats that look like Hitler. It's cats are Hitler. That was the bottom line.
I'm not sure catsaretehitler.com is taken. So if you know,
I will get onto it. I don't have enough stuff on at the moment. That's what I want.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam, get onto this.
I think there's mileage in this one. Right. So I've got two things I want to show you, which are the all-time top 2 cats that look like Hitler, as of catsthatlooklikehitler.com.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, who has got quite an obvious name, is this one. Which I think is tremendous. So
don't tell me there's one like this.
I can't see you.
Oh, you can't see me. Sorry, Baz,
I can't see you right now. But then I suspect you were doing just this, because number 1 with a rating out of 10 out of 10 is Groucho, who looks like this.
No, I wasn't doing that. I was doing that is even better. I was doing my
finger moustache.
How are you doing this?
Middle finger, my moustache.
Look, there you go. Now I need to figure out how to get out of this.
Dad
I can
Dancer.
see everybody again. I can see everyone again now.
Dad Dancer. I'm literally like so impressed by the fact that you can even put that stuff on here. Like, how do you even figure out how to, like, firstly put, I mean, it's like a green screen, but not, because it's right in front of us. And then you're bloody like omitting stuff from a whole list of things and then chucking it in at the last minute. Are you bloody out of your mind? You crazy shit.
I'll tell you what, I said this to someone earlier today. I think it was Baz. I can't remember if it was actually. My short-term memory's gone to shit. Don't worry about it. I was telling someone about this today, that I spent 20 years in a corporate career, and I got to a relatively high level in a massive $10 billion multinational company simply by gift of the gab and good PowerPoint skills. Yeah, that's all I can put it down to. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've got the gift of the gab and good PowerPoint skills, you can convince anybody that you know more about a subject than they do. And that is the secret to getting to the top in a corporate business.
You see, that's where I've buggered up. I can't do Word, PowerPoint, Excel. No. Although I did quite well in my job through the gift of the gab because I was in sales. And that's all I needed. I never needed a PowerPoint presentation. Thank God.
I need to just say that we're getting towards the time now where we're going to do a feature called Pie or Fly.
I'm so excited about this.
Well, it's basically because
I love Graham Norton, so I like that.
It's nothing to do with Graham Norton. I've got this idea completely out of the air, and if there's any comparison between what we do and what Graham Norton do, that's purely coincidental. It's not a direct rip-off of exactly what he does.
Nicked your idea, like
I know. He nicked my idea. Good. He nicked my idea a good 4 years before I even thought of it. Now that's the sign. That's the sign of a good broadcaster. That is.
Can you believe it?
So, if I sent you an email earlier today with a link to invite you onto the show, Kathy, I can see you.
Hey, this is amazing.
We've tried for 2 solid weeks to get Kathy on the show. I think I can see Kathy.
Adam.
No.
Adam. 1 second.
Is the beer run out?
No, I've got a drink. I just need another battery. But he's now started playing his fucking shit program in his office, and he's got headphones in. He can't hear. 1 sec.
Okay,
no problem.
I'll talk through what we're going to do. If I sent you a link, so I'm expecting Kathy, who's here. I'm expecting Jenny, and I'm expecting Andy. Okay. So Jenny and Andy, click on the link that I sent you. This will bring you through to backstage. We're going to do this again. If you weren't here last week, basically, like I say, this is an idea I had. This is an idea that Graham Norton stole off me 4 years before I had the idea. I don't know how he did it. It's fucking witchcraft, but he did, right? So, but he didn't involve pies. He didn't involve virtual custard pies, so it's completely different.
What an arsehole.
Kathy's gone again now.
Oh.
After 2 weeks of trying, Kathy came and now she's gone.
Stage
anyway.
Right.
1 sec.
Bye.
So, Kathy, Andy, Jenny, click on the link. That'll bring you through to the studio. Andy's here. I can see Andy. That was a dramatic camera angle, Andy. There was a ceiling fan, and it was just like it was a little Hitchcock for a moment, but I think we're sorted. Okay, so Andy's here. Jenny's here. We need Kathy to come back. But basically, the way this works is it's like Graham Norton's chair, because he stole my idea. In that people are going to chat and tell us a bit of a story, and if we're enjoying the story, we'll carry on and let them continue. If for any reason we don't want to hear the rest of the story, they'll get a virtual custard pie in the face and they'll be off. If you're sitting backstage, Jenny and Andy, if you're sitting backstage, don't worry. We're not going to completely get rid of you. We're going to sit you backstage while we finish the show. At the end of the show, we'll stop broadcasting, then we'll bring you back in, and you can have a chat with me, Baz, and Clara as a kind of a thank you for coming on
Clara.
the show. That's what I said, isn't it?
No, but I mean, I should imagine Clara's going to be the one we want to talk to.
No, I don't know about that, Baz. I don't know about that, Baz.
Can I just say, before we get into this next thing, I've been a passenger tonight. It's been the best fucking passenger journey I've ever had.
That's literally your role. You're a sidekick. That's all they do. Do you know what I mean? Your job is to sit there, drink, smoke, and just chip in. And well, definitely not look pretty, but you just chip in occasionally. And that's your job, mate. That's your job.
Best I ever.
I mean, now that when we started this, you were nothing, and now look at you. Do you know what I mean? when we started this, Baz, you had literally what 60,000 followers, yeah, and now you've got about 460. So
430.
Look at Ra's face. Now you've got about 460. I don't think that's a coincidence, Baz. All right, so
it's down to the podcast.
You just know, mate. Right? You just know what side your bread's buttered on, pal.
Did you genuinely have 60,000 at the start, and now you've got 400?
9 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and now he's on 460,000.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That's because of your content.
Oh,
no,
thanks.
it's not. Because he's on my podcast. It's because he's on my podcast weekly, and I don't know why everyone followed him. I don't know why 400,000 more people have followed him, but not me.
Check my TikTok. I reckon I'm on 700,000.
It's going to happen.
Look, Clara, when we had Joshua Cubed on here, And the week he was on here on a Wednesday, and the Friday night he passed 1 million. Baz has been on for 9 weeks.
999,000 2 hours previously, you fucking twat.
That's not true. That's not true, Claire. It's all.
He was on 60,000 followers. Trust me.
People don't understand. People don't understand the Midas touch that this podcast has. I think we've got Kathy as well. So right, it's time. We're going to bring them on. I'm going to bring them onto the show, and like I say, we're going to bring them on the show one by one. If we like the story, they can carry on and finish it. If we don't, they get a virtual custard pie in the face. And let's face it, I spent an awful long time doing the visuals of a custard pie hitting someone in the face. So it's going to happen.
And how do you know when? Do you get the sort of final say?
It's all about me. Yeah.
It's omnipotent.
Unfortunately, Clara, when I set the graphics up, it was when we only had me and Baz. So I might have. Do you know? It'll be fine. Let's just pretend.
So
someone's getting paid.
How does this happen? So they tell a story, and then you're like Graham Norton, but
yes.
What other people get to chip in if they do or do not like the story, or
why not? Why not? We haven't done it with. We only did it once, and it was just me and Baz. It was just me and Baz. So let's bring. And unfortunately, because there's now going to be 4 of us when I bring this person on. The custard pie that I'm going to throw might not hit them, but they'll still be pied off if they get pied off. Don't be offended if you get pied off, because there's only 3 of you, and I spent an awful long time creating that pie. So if I don't throw it at someone, I've wasted my time. So someone will do.
If it goes in my face, will I see it go in my face, or will you see a different person? Because I will happily throw myself dramatically.
Well, it'll probably go in between the 2 of you. So if you can kind of get in between, and then that'll happen. Anyway.
Ever the actress.
Right. So we're going to get them on in the order that they are on my screen.
I'm going to tell you what I can get. Sorry, go on.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to bring Kathy on first, because I think she's got kind of a bit of a flaky connection, because it's taken us 2 weeks to get her on. So I'm going to bring Kathy on first. So, Kathy. Oh, my God. Kathy, can we hear you?
No.
Let me take the graphics off, because that's
seems like the normal.
Kathy, can we all join hands?
Oh, hang on. There's a ghostly image.
Kathy, turn a light on.
Kathy.
Oh, here we go. Voice.
Oh, Kathy, turn the volume down on your. It's like being on proper telly, isn't it? Oh, Kathy, can you turn your volume down?
Yeah.
I can hear you. You just need to turn your volume down to hear.
You don't turn your telly down.
Hi.
Hello.
We all join hands. So I can't really see you, but I can hear you. So if you turn your volume down.
This podcast gold.
Can you switch lights on and speak to weird?
I quite like the fact it's a bit Blair Witch.
I feel like we're being haunted.
Can you hear anything now?
Kathy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now, Kathy.
We can hear stuff. Turn a light on. I feel like I'm about to be infiltrated by ghosts.
Kathy, can you take the bin bag off your camera?
Yeah.
Clara, can you send Adam round?
Adam, Kathy needs you right now.
I can't. I think we might have to try again next week with Kathy. I'm so sorry. But you know what? Let's do it properly.
Kathy seems like an avid supporter. She is here every week.
She is. But Clara, can you move towards the middle a bit? That way. Ready? Boom! There she is.
Me?
Got her. Well, it was just, it goes in the middle because last week we only had 3 people on last week. Sorry, Kathy, I'm gonna have to go because
I'll have to move on to someone who doesn't have a bin bag.
Much as that was entertaining, Kathy needs to. that's the closest we've got to having Kathy on, and we tried.
That's amazing.
So I think I don't know what Kathy needs to do, but we're trying our best. So
maybe it's the internet.
Next up, our next two guests, ladies and gentlemen, we've only gone bloody international, haven't we? Because our next two guests are both from the United States of the USA.
Across the Atlantic. Here we go.
Woohoo! So, our first guest, our first ever guest from the States on the podcast, or mate from the States, as I like to call it, because it rhymes a bit, is from New York.
Oh,
and I know she's really nervous, so everybody be kind. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat section, and if you cock about in the chat section, me and Baz love this person. Okay, so if you're not nice to her, you can piss off.
It's not Hitler either.
No, it's like.
Why are you preempting this with like she's going to get so much hate? Like
No,
we
she's not
love
going to get hate, but she's terribly nervous.
We love a New Yorkian. Get her on.
Look, she's getting so much support in the comment section. There we go.
Bloody love you. New York.
Sorry. I do need to. That Martin's just
correction.
We have been international. We haven't been transatlantic before, but we have been international. We have had Martin from Germany on before. I do apologize, Martin, but this is the first transatlantic connection, which is interesting because it's 10:15 p.m. here. It's only 5:15 where Andy is. So we're going to bring Andy on. So we'll because we don't normally say who are you, where you come and have a little chat with them before they tell the story. But because the next two are from the States, we will do that. So here she is. It's Andy. Look how much everybody loves you, Andy. Look how much everybody loves you.
Hi.
Hello, Andy. What's your name? We know your name. Where are you from? We know where you're from, but say it anyway.
Hi. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, I'm Andrea, but my friends call me Andy. And I live in it's called Staten Island. It's a borough of New York.
I love Staten Island.
We all know Staten Island. That's like
it's where the fucking jokers come from.
That's exactly what I said. In Practical Jokers. They've put it on the map for the UK.
Jokers. They're my favorite.
Oh,
You've already got a fan here.
Okay, good.
I do love how New York your accent is as well, because obviously you've contributed to a lot of stuff we've done, but we've never heard your voice. I love how New York you say the word Andy. It's amazing.
Andy, yeah.
Oh,
and then she's
I can literally listen to that all day.
She's like, "Hey, I'm from Staten Island."
Sorry,
that was my bad. My bad.
Absolutely love it. So, Andy, I'm so glad you're on here. And don't get me wrong, for people who don't know, it took me an awful lot of time to convince Andy to come on.
Can we just point out as well, it's Andy without the D.
Andy's trying to find a new username because everyone thinks she's a boy, which is clearly not a boy. But also,
I know what the D was.
Oh, good.
It took me a while to figure it out, to be fair.
Oh, I love that you're a fan of these guys, though. That's freaking awesome from across the pond.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
My son has said he wants you to say coffee.
Here. I did not grow up in New York. I grew up in Canada. So I'm all mixed up with the way I speak. But people here
say coffee.
They say coffee. Let's go for a couple. Like my husband has a bit of that. He's like coffee. They'll say it like
coffee.
that, kind of.
Coffee.
Biscuits.
But
So what? You don't all speak like the Sopranos?
No.
What? Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I'm off.
We didn't get you on to mock your accent. We love it. We love it, and we're so excited.
That's not mocking. That's loving it.
We are absolutely loving it, and just in the way that quite often we hear you guys say how much you like our accents in the comments that we put on the things like that.
Because by the way, we all talk like this. All right, governor.
Dick
We
Van
all-
Dyke.
I definitely did a video saying to Americans, just to clarify, we don't all talk like Dick Van Dyke.
Did you? That's brilliant.
Unbelievably, it caused quite a hoo-ha in the which I believe might be a rude word in America. But anyway, in the comment section. So I think it might be an old version of a rude word. Anyway, at risk of we've got Andy on the show, and at risk of embarrassing Andy.
No, I'm fine. I mean,
At risk of embarrassing Andy, I'm going to reveal his age. I know you,
Andy.
I know you should never ask a woman her age, and I don't need to ask Andy her age because I know Andy's age. Andy, everyone is watching this here and in the comment section will
22.
be in absolute disbelief when I tell you that Andy is 53 years old.
No.
Are you absolutely out of your mind?
I'm going. Fuck that.
I turned 53 couple of weeks ago. Born in '68. Yeah.
Stop it! I'm not just saying this. I genuinely, I said 22 to be kind to like a 28-year-old.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. That's so
Seriously?
Thank you. My mom looks young. She's in her my parents are in their 80s. They look. I don't know. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
This is what 54 looks like in England. So you're doing well.
Don't ever move to England, otherwise you'll end up looking like that.
Yeah, stay where you are. It's fine.
It's categorically true.
you.
Answer.
Thank you.
Let's get on to it. So we want to hear your story, Andy.
Ready.
And if you get pied, don't worry. You'll just go backstage, and then when we finish broadcasting, we'll bring you back and we'll have a proper chat with you, not broadcast to the internet.
I mean, you can pie me now if you want. I mean, I'm good with that.
You go, girl.
I want to hear your story. Let's go.
Oh, all right. It's not even funny and it's boring, but I'm going to tell
I'll be
it
the
anyway.
judge of that.
Okay. I have 2 feet, so
Brilliant, right? Is that your story?
and,
Hooray!
Very
yeah,
interesting.
and so my son who's like he's 13 now, but a few years back he played American football.
Oh, hang on! Don't get wrong started.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the kids play flag American football. So when they chase each other, whatever, they pull these things that are attached to their hips, and it's just they don't tackle, they don't get contact. But anyway, he played this game. He was out there for like a couple of hours, and it was really hot, and it was just hot and sweaty, and I just couldn't wait to get back to my car. I was out there for a couple of hours. I brought a lawn chair. I had a cooler with stuff. I was loaded down, and he was done. I was like, "Come on, baby, let's get back to the car." And I ran. And it was in a park, and you walk through the woods. And now these woods are a lot of people go back and forth. So the ground was sort of the trees. The roots were up out of the ground. They really should be under the ground. I wasn't paying attention. I'm running, wearing flip flops, and I ran, and I didn't see the root, and I went down, and everything landed, my whole body weight, and everything I was holding landed on my foot, and I felt this burst of heat and pain just emanating all the way up my leg, and I just laid there. It was a mess. I had tumbled. Also, I had everything. My son was just standing there, and the coach came along. I was like just so much unbelievable pain, and just lying there. I couldn't move. I couldn't move my leg, anything. And coach came, and I was sweating, and he came and he picked me up from under my armpits, which were drenched in sweat. But he picked me up, and I'm just kind of crying. And he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not okay." But he didn't know me. He just took me to the curb, and he sat me there, and I was just covered in mud and dirt and leaves and twigs, and I had to get home. I had my car with me and my son, and I called my husband to come get me. Now, he's a musician, and he was traveling to a show, but it wasn't that far, but he was traveling to a show, and I said, "I'm in bad shape," and I looked terrible, and it was just, I felt like I was homeless. I was just laying on the ground. I couldn't move. It was no kind of homeless people, but it was just not good. And he just told me, "I can't come get you." And now we've been married at that point 24 years, I guess. He just said, he's like, I'm on my way to play. Just drive home with your left foot. And
which actually in America is probably okay because you all drive automatics.
Yeah. So he eventually came home and got me because I couldn't even walk, never mind drive with my left. So, but anyway, we laugh about it to this day. But he treated me very well after that because he knew that how ridiculous that was when he saw that my foot it was black, it had blown up, it was I ended up like you can't, I don't think you can get surgery for it. Was broken in the end. It ended up being broken. I broke all the bones in the I don't know what they're called, but it's better now with my foot. Can you see it? So it's better now, and I have OP, and that's it.
Okay. Listen, your connection's not great, and your connection's not great. If it was anybody else, I definitely would have paid you because your connection's not great. But
I was like this, listening to it though, and I heard every word with the crackles. I did hear every word.
The connection's not great, and it's all crackly. And if it was anybody else, I definitely would have paid you.
I'm sorry.
But I think everybody would agree. If I pied Andy, it would be like punching a puppy in the face. And I just couldn't do it.
But plus, Andy, I genuinely thought the story was really good.
I did too. So
I'm not doing it out of sympathy. I'm doing it because I thought the story was good.
Mike, for making me, forcing me to come out of my comfort zone because I
love the fact that you've not only.
Thank you.
You legend for being on here.
And Andy, not only have you come out of your comfort zone, but you were saying, I'm really nervous. I don't want to do it. I don't want to come on. It's a boring story. It won't last long. And then you got on a roll, and let me tell you, when you get on a roll, you can talk. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know how to talk.
When you said the story wasn't that long, it lasted 2 minutes 45. I'm joking.
Okay, Andy.
I'm joking. It's 2 minutes 50.
Andy, you're the first. Andy,
for the pie, but I didn't get pie. I was waiting for it.
Andy, you're the first person to do this since we've renamed it Pie or Fly, and I'm going to let you fly. So I'm going to put you into the backstage area, and we'll have a chat and a drink with you shortly when the show ends in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so
love you, Andy.
There we go. Okay, next up, we're going even further across the Atlantic. We're going to California. I believe the Bay Area of San Francisco. I believe. And this is somebody who was on, who is a massive contributor, comments on all the stuff, supports everything that Baz and I do. She's amazing. And Baz and I had the pleasure of chatting to her via the medium of the new guest feature just the other day. So we've now got Jenny from California who's going to come and tell us a story. Hey, Jenny. You again. Jenny, are you under a bunk bed? Are you on the lower bunk of a bunk bed?
No. I'm under a bed though.
Yeah, it just looks like you're in the lower bunk of a bunk bed. Of all the places to go live from.
You look like you're in a circus.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
I was so proud of Andy.
Your hands are massive, by the way.
We all were. She was amazing.
You got really huge hands.
Where are you in California?
I live in San Mateo, and it's kind of about halfway between San Francisco and San Jose. So it's considered Bay Area.
My brother lives in San Diego.
Oh yes, I love San Diego. I went to elementary school there, and it's lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, he's lived there for 10 years with his wife and 2 kids. Amazing. Yeah. Anyway,
I would love to move back there.
Sorry,
I love San Francisco because when you fly to San Francisco from Dublin, you go through US Customs in Dublin Airport. So when we flew into San Francisco, you go through customs in Dublin Airport. So you land in the domestic terminal in San Francisco. So you just literally walk out, pick your bags up, and go. There's no more to do. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Because anybody who's flown transatlantic knows that you get stuck in customs for about 4 hours. So to do that in Dublin before you leave, because technically and legally, you cross the US border whilst in Dublin Airport. The section, once you've gone through there, is technically US soil.
I will apologise on behalf of Dad Dancer. He doesn't know what he's talking about right now. He's talking about Dublin Airport being on US soil. Let's get on with what we're meant to be doing, because I don't think he quite understands what he's saying. Let's just move on from that weirdness.
I think Clara's forgotten how much power I have.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
Clara's forgotten how much power I have.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
Sorry,
literally the director of Clara's destiny. So
Oh my gosh!
I'll bring you back as long as you behave yourself, Clara.
So I wanted to read something that Adam wrote as well. Adam wrote, "Is this live from prison?"
It feels like it, doesn't it? So anyway, Jen, let's get back to the point. We brought Jenny on to tell us a story. Jenny, tell us your story.
Okay, my story takes place kind of at the beginning of the pandemic. We were all kind of new. They were having everyone Zoom, and we were new to the whole thing. My kids were Zooming. I have 3 kids. They're 17, 14, and 12. And I'm just a humble housewife, as you guys know, and a part-time cupcake delivery person. But one thing I do is
Hold on a minute. I need to pie you in the face for saying you're only.
Oh.
Yes.
Housewife. And also, I had to get rid of Clara so that it hit you right in the face.
I got to screenshot that.
Sorry, I'll put it back.
There we go.
There you go. Okay.
The kids were wondering if I would.
Clara, you can come back now.
But I had an issue with the fact that you said, the start of the pandemic when we're all like Zooming. What are we doing now?
I know. Well, now
This is completely different. This is a podcast.
All right, sorry.
Like Zoom.
It looks the same to me.
I kind of like it now.
Is Zoom in the Rover's Return of Coronation Street? No, it's not. So anyway, sorry, Jenny, back to your story.
Well, so now we sort of like it and we've gotten more accustomed to it, but early on we just weren't that familiar with it. And I don't have my own laptop. I'm just using my phone now. And so I was getting on for my board meeting. I help out at my daughter's high school. I'm on the parent teacher organization. So I was supposed to get on my meeting that night. My son was using the laptop for his running club. My 12-year-old, he was doing this virtual running club, and the coach had given him, he had renamed everyone something. And so unbeknownst to me, he passes me the laptop so I can get on my meeting. And I open it up, and it was right around the time everyone was kind of freaking out because there had been some Zoom bombers. I guess it's something like some of the kids at the high school could figure out how to hack in and
Zoom bombers.
They would. I didn't even know what it was, but apparently they could get interrupt classes and put whatever they wanted. And so everyone was kind of on edge right around then. And so I'm just trying to get on the meeting that night. My son Chase had just used the laptop for his running club. I'm logging on, I'm tapping the connect to the meeting, and it pulls up and it doesn't have my picture. It's just a black screen with Chase, Destroyer of Worlds as the title. And when you first get on, you're muted, and I couldn't figure out how to unmute so I could tell them it's just me, it's just Jenny, and everyone, the whole board's on and they're freaking out. They're like, oh my God, I think it's one of those Zoom bombers. They're like, kick him now. And
yeah, so and then and one of these Zoom bombers definitely looks like her.
They couldn't see me. They couldn't even see me. It was just
definitely her.
It was
she's in
just
prison.
it was
You can
just
see
the
she's in
title,
prison. So
Chase,
that would make sense.
Destroyer of Worlds.
If there's ever a Zoom bomber, not that I knew the terminology before, but if ever there was someone who I depicted as a Zoom bomber, it's going to be your fucking face. There's no way it'll be anyone else. I'll be like, yeah, you're right, guys. Let's get her. Look at her. Look at that woman. She looks like a massive Zoom bomber.
I got a screenshot of this. Oh my gosh.
Okay, again.
That story.
So
sorry, Clara, I'm going to have to get rid of you just so that I can stick the custard pie straight.
Oh!
Boom. There you go.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I can bring you both back. And yeah, Jenny, you're pied off. I'll speak to you later.
Nice. Oh, so sweet.
I did enjoy that. And it was unfortunate that I couldn't do any genuinely vicious pieing in the face because unfortunately our two guests, Kathy's trying again, but I can see from the video it's not going to work again. So we're going to have to try and get Kathy back on. In fact, do you know what, Kathy? Whenever we sort out this live event in Malham, you will be a guest on the actual podcast. Oh, she's gone now.
Whenever
that idea.
Whenever they come over to New York, you will be.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. When we do the show
tour
in New York, yeah.
Don't you worry. Whenever they decide to take a flight 8 hours to New York, you will be number one guest.
There you go.
Eventually, they will be able to speak with you.
As long as she would fit in an average size suitcase and she's below 20 kilos, she's welcome to come with us.
She can come to you.
Exactly. So, right. I need to say thank you for everybody for being on tonight. Honestly, I say it every week and it sounds trite, but before I do, Mark B has said, hello guys, just wanted to say congratulations to Clara with the 100 days of running. She hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, come on.
93.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. You know what? We hit £20,000 today raised, and we've got 7 days left. And now my goal is 25,000. And it's been really emotional the last 24 hours because we've raised £4,000 in 24 hours.
Wow.
After we're on day 93, and the last 24 hours we hit our. I was so scared that we weren't going to reach 20 grand by the end of the last, 9 days. And I did this big push yesterday and raised £4,000 over 24 hours. So I can't thank you enough. Whoever you are on here has obviously followed the journey. So thank you very much. And I all of my comedy sketches have taken a backseat. I've been vlogging this because it's so fucking important to me. All the kids that have been affected during the pandemic, which has increased by 2,000% month on month. And so, yeah, it's massively important to me. So thank you, whoever you were who just commented that. And I'll get back to the comedy stuff properly, in a week when I've finished it. But let's reach 5,000.
You need to find out who that anonymous donor was for £2,000 as well. That was fucking amazing, right?
And I had another anonymous donor about 4 weeks ago. For some reason,
there's a reason why I did it anonymously. Now stop talking about it, right?
Don't like to talk about charity.
I didn't want to.
For some reason, I don't think Dad Dance would be anonymous.
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah. Only someone with a velvet jacket and a cravat would donate £2,000. Honestly. You know it. Cheers. Assuming that the £2,000 wasn't in logs, we know it wasn't Adam the gardener.
Or chewing gum, yeah.
Yeah, but I did. We also got £1,000 donation.
That's mental. That's crazy.
About 4 weeks ago, again anonymous. The big ones. Bless them. Like they don't even want any praise or any proper thanks. It's just incredible. That's what made me do that video last night. And just I had to mention these incredible people because I don't know who they are, and I hope they saw it. So my thanks. So.
Yeah, piss all over my £3. I'm really.
Oh.
Right. I haven't even donated yet. I haven't even donated. I mean, other than the £2,000 and the £1,000, which I don't class as me because I did it anonymously. But I mean, I haven't donated in my name yet, but I will do.
Same.
Oh, thank you very much. Seriously, we're going to hit the 25 grand by next week.
100%. Let's make it happen. So again, I need to thank everybody who's on. Everyone in the comment section. You know, I say this every week, and it sounds trite, but I genuinely mean it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do, all the support that you give us, everything me and Baz do.
Yeah, I love
it. Everyone here is the people who are on my 3 o'clock lives. They're on the quiz on a Friday night at 9 p.m. UK and Ireland time. It's all the people that are giving us this support is amazing. I did, by the way, I do need to say that I did say that tonight I was going to give you details of the live event we're going to do at Dan's Pub in Malham. We're not in a position to do that yet. We'll do it next week. Okay, we've just got a few more things we need to sort out in terms of dates and arrangements and things like that. But yes, next week we will be in a position to release it live on the podcast. We will release the link, and the venue holds only as much, because we wanted to do it in Dan's Pub, because obviously Pubman Dan is one of us. But the room that we've got only holds 30 people, so tickets will be scarce, and we will. But we're going to make it happen. So next week, if you want a ticket to that, you're going to need to be on here, because we're going to launch it live on the podcast next week. Okay.
And can I just say thank you so much? It really genuinely has been the biggest laugh and such a privilege. So thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, bless you, Clara, honestly.
And to all you guys out there, keep supporting and keep plugging it and promoting this, because this is just such a fucking cool thing to do on a Friday night. And the amount of work and effort you must put into this, Dad Dancer. I'll just keep calling you by your handle.
Yes. My name's there.
To put all of this stuff together, even the 4-minute breakdown before it starts, I'm so impressed. Like, it's so amazing. I wouldn't even know how to begin something like this. And keep going and keep doing 100%. You. It's amazing. It's amazing. Really.
Come on again, though, because you've been brilliant.
Oh, I'd love to come on again. Absolutely.
We'll definitely have you on again. Definitely have you on again.
I'd love to.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, though.
so sorry, Jill in the comment section just said, please tell me it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Clara said it was Friday. Please, nobody, please.
Friday.
You just said it was Friday, but please.
No, I didn't.
Don't make me send you a recording.
Please don't make me recording. No, it may have been like something that got misconstrued. I didn't say Friday. I said I fucking love you. Maybe.
Yeah, that's it. I heard that.
Anyway, just in case anybody else, just in case anybody was confused there, please don't not go to work tomorrow. Okay, we can't be held responsible for you losing your job for not turning up because Clara said it was Friday. Okay, it's not. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's definitely Wednesday.
Done it.
Okay, so thanks again. Honestly, Clara, we'll definitely have you on. Next week is going to be me and Baz again. It's going to be one of those weeks where it's just me and Baz. And then at some point, so I'm going to be back in England in a couple of weeks for 7 weeks. So we're going to do some interesting stuff there. We're going to do somewhere me and Baz are in the same room. I'm currently looking at some quirky venues for where we can do it in the same room. And obviously, we're going to do the live event in Malham as well. So next week, we'll drop the link for that, and you'll be able to get tickets for that. And again, the only money we're going to charge is to stop people buying free tickets and not turning up. And also, we think we might have to either buy or rent equipment to make it work technically. So that's all we're going to charge for.
Steal it. That's what we'll do.
That was the. My wife in the comment section earlier ago said, epic guys, Shay's bedtime. That was definitely a message for me to pipe down a bit. Anyway, she's just kind of opened the door and then shut again, which is the second warning. So thankfully we're done. Thanks to everyone for being here. Honestly, I'm not just saying it. I am genuinely, honestly, I love you all because your support means the world to us. So thanks very much. We'll see you again next week. We'll see you on Friday night on the quiz. We've got it's Sam Foley. That was close. It's Sam Foley on Friday. So come back TikTok Friday night 9 p.m. Jenny and Andy are waiting to have a chat with us. So all you lot who weren't on the show, you've got to go, but Jenny and Andy can stay and have a chat with us.
Spread the word of these amazing guys.
Thank you so much, Clara. Next week, if you want to be on the show and come and have a chat with us, then do it. Send us an email to dad.dancermail@gmail.com with your story that you want to tell us, and we'll see you next week. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone who was on it.